Hello everyone, you have learned a theory about Markowitz portfolio theory, capital assets pricing model, multi-factor model, and portfolio performance evaluation in the previous lecture. Now in this Excel class, I will show you how to use the real data to calculate the stock return and draw the opportunity set, efficient frontier, capital market line, CML, and also how can we calculate the beta and alpha for each individual assets, and testing the capital assets pricing model. And last, I will show you how can we evaluate our portfolio performance. Now, please open the Excel workbook, and you will see for the first worksheet, we have spreadsheet. We have the original data. So that's all 30 stocks I have downloaded from the database. It is about the stock's price from 2014 to 2020. So this is the daily stock price, adjusted close price for the daily data. And finally, in the last column, the column AF, we have the Shanghai Stock Exchange Composite Index. So it's the same SSE composite daily price. Now you have the original data, and I will use these 30 stocks to construct our portfolio and have a look at what's the optimal weight for each individual stock and how can we invest in our portfolio. Now let's move to the second, the return and covariance spreadsheet. Let's have a look. In this spreadsheet, first step, we need to calculate the stock return for this all 30 stocks and the SSE composite. And how can we calculate stock return based on stock price? Remember, you have learned this equation, and this is the stock return. The holding period return at time period t should equal to the price at time period t minus the price for period t minus 1. So that's the previous time period price, and over the price for t minus 1. So that's your holding period's return for discrete return. But if you are continuously compound rate, so you will using the log n for p t minus 1 over pt. So that is the equation usually used in finance or in real industry, and all the mutual fund manager, they construct their portfolio, they will use this equation. Now I will use the one you familiar here, and you can calculate the stock return. I will show you. So the time period from this part is from 2014, January 3rd. And our original data, you can have a look, that's the data from the January 2nd. The reason is because the return, we use P1 minus P0 over P0. So the first one, we began from the 3rd. So you can type equal, and then you type it should equal to our second price minus the first price, and then we over the first price, and then you press enter, and we will calculate the first return for the first stock. And if you want to fill in all the 30 stocks in and the SSE composite, what you have to do, you just put your mouse to the right corner, and it become to a cross, and then you drag to the right, and then you put it to the right and become the cross, and then you double click. And then we will get all these 30 stocks and SSE composite index, the daily return for each one. If you want to use the other formula, as I mentioned, log n, you can directly type equal to log n, and then you use the second price over the first price, and then you type enter, and then the same thing you can drag to the right and then drag to drag down. So that's how can we calculate the stock return based on stock price. And then the next step, we want to construct our portfolio. So do you remember you have learned on your lecture how can we calculate the portfolio return? If your portfolio only have 2 assets or 2 stocks, the equation is quite simple. So you just use the weight for the first stock, multiply the expected return for the first stock, plus the weight for the second stock, and multiply the expect return for the second stock. But here is the portfolio risk, which we use the standard deviation to derive that. And in this case, we include 30 stocks in your portfolio, so you won't use this simple equation. So here I have just wrote down the equation, the matrix equation, to calculate the portfolio expected return and portfolio risk. Now let's have a look. We can use the weight for each individual stock, multiply the expected return for each individual stock. So if you have 2 stocks in your portfolio, definitely it is W1 multiply R1 plus W2 multiply R2. And if you have more than 2 stocks in your portfolio, you need to plus W3 multiply R3, etc. And that's the portfolio expected return. And the second one is portfolio standard deviation, which we measure the portfolio total risk. So if you measure the total risk, we use the standard deviation. So here we have the square root here. So don't remember the square root. And then we use the weight for each individual stock, multiply this one. This we called the stocks variance covariance matrix. So on your diagonal, that's your variance, stock variance, and off diagonal part is your covariance between each individual stocks. So that's the covariance between stock 1 and 2. So the next is covariance for stock 1 and 3. And finally, we need to multiply the weight here. And then we can get our portfolio risk. So in this case, remember, we need to know what's the weight for each individual stock, and also what's the expected return for each individual stock. And finally is what's the variance covariance matrix. Now, first step, we calculated the daily return for each individual stock. So if, for example, for 牧原股份, we have the each day's daily return. And how can we calculate expected return for 牧原股份? So here, the line 1,524, we have the average return. For this average return, we calculate the average return for each stocks, for all these 30 stocks. And the way to do that is we use the average. So that's the average function. And then you select all the data from the 牧原股份's daily return. The way you can select all this column data, you can do Control Shift and down arrow, and we can select all this column data. Otherwise, you can use your mouse, click your mouse and select this data, and then you close your bracket and press enter. We will find the average daily return for 牧原股份 is 0.176%. And then you can put your mouse to the right side corner and drag to the right. So we will get all the data's average daily return. So we can use this average daily return in the equation here. Let me show here. In the equation here, we have the average return for each individual stocks. So we know this part, and the next one we want to calculate the variance covariance matrix. So that's this part. So how can we calculate variance covariance matrix? Let's have a look. The variance covariance matrix, there are lots of ways to do that, but it is variance covariance, so definitely we know we need to use the function we call the COVAR. So this COVAR is the covariance function, so we can use that to calculate this variance covariance matrix. And this part is the 牧原股份 and 牧原股份. So that's the variance for 牧原股份. So if you calculate the variance for 牧原股份, you can see that there are two areas you need to select. So we need to select the first column and also the first column, and you can get the result for this. But I will show you a simple way to draw this one. So you can use the offset function. So this offset function, you give the reference, and then you can doing any movement based on this reference. So the reference now we have is here. That's our original data. So we select this B2 to B1522, and then the next you need to have a look. Based on this column, we want to move how many rows, how many columns. So we don't want to doing any row movement, because all the data we calculated the covariance is always from line 2 to line 1522. So here we just type 0 for row, and for column here. So the first one, let's have a look at the data table here. So the first one is 牧原股份. So we don't need to move any row from column B to column C, D. But for the second one here, if the second one we want to calculate the covariance between 牧原股份 and 新希望. So in that way, we need to move to the next column. So we need to move 1 column and 2 column, 3 column, 4 column. So here in this part, we select this one. So we select this B 1559. If we drag to the right, it will definitely move to 1 column and 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns. So that's the way we want to. And then the area 2, we also use another offset function, and then we can select the reference. So the reference is the same. We use the 牧原股份, all the data for 牧原股份, and then let's have a look. how many rows the same. We don't want to move to the next line, so we type 0 here. And for the columns, now here we use this one, A1560, this cell. So using this cell, when you drag your cell down, it will directly move to the next column, and the second column, third column, etc. And then we close our bracket. And then we need to think about the relative reference and absolute reference. When we drag to the right, we don't want this move, so we need to fix our line here. And if we drag to the right, we want the column to move, so we can move to this cell. But if when we drag down, we don't want this cell move to here and here and here, so we fix here, fix the line, fix the row. And then for A1560, we don't want the column move, because if we drag it down, definitely we want to move to this one, this cell. But when we drag to the right, we don't want this column move to this column B and column C. So here we need to fix A for the column. And when you finish all of this, you just press enter, and we will get the result. And then we put our mouse to the right corner and drag to the right. And then problem is here. So you will see that the problem is we didn't fix our original reference. So here you need to fix all the reference. Otherwise, when you drag to the right or move to drag down, it will directly move to the other cells. So here, you can, if you're using the computer, you can directly press F4, and it will fix all the column and row. And the same we fix here. And then let's do that again. Drag to the right. Okay, and then drag down. Sorry, I can't see. Okay, and let me see. That's 1589. Okay. Now let's finish all this 30 stocks variance covariance matrix. So it's quite easy. Otherwise, you have other ways to do that. You just use covariance function and do it line by line, or you can use data analysis to doing that. But you can also have half diagonal part, and then you need to fill in all the blank one. So if you want to learn more detail, you can have a look my other English course about financial modeling using Excel. And then we can just directly copy all the data here and paste here. So keep your mind, when you paste it, we just want to paste the value, not including the formula. Otherwise, it will change, so we can directly click this paste to the value. And now we can have a look at this 30 stocks. We have our variance covariance matrix. Based on this variance covariance matrix, definitely we can use this equation to calculate our portfolio expected return and portfolio risk. So that's the second part. I show you how can you use the original data to calculate the stock return and variance covariance matrix.